We're a week away from Independence Day, and Philips Avent has decided to give a unique kind of freedom to new mothers. Joining me is Smit Janak Shukla, the consumer marketing lead of Philips Personal Health. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Nida.
And we saw that disruptive product launch today. Firstly, tell us what made you come up with the idea of a wearable breast pump and why Masaba?
Got it. Two parts to the question. First, what got us to the idea? So we've been putting insights to the problem statement for the last 2-3 years. The biggest insight that kept coming is like 2 in 3 mothers can't even find an hour in the schedule which is free in nature. And that was the genesis of the problem statement. That, okay, obviously mothers are not having time, clearly, but what more? Why is something like a wearable breast pump needed, essentially? And then further, when we deep dived into the problem statement, there was a lot of conversation about constraints of movement. That, one, in the first 40 days, like Nina ma'am was saying, like, people were not moving out, and many mothers who wanted to join the workforce again, they were constrained by the fact that, okay, we have to again sometimes come back, and even if we are on the move, we are not able to, use a normal breast pump or even the traditional methods of breast pumps. And that was something that was clearly driving with an insight, and it's a global phenomenon, by the way, that the entire movement around liberation, ability to move freely, is coming up in a big way, which globally, I think people got aware of, noticed it as a trend, and started working on the insight, taking data from different markets. India was one of them. And that's where it took us like good more than 3 years to develop something which is as disruptive as this. And we've taken our time to get the product right, because we wanted to get something which is superior, disruptive, and truly liberating for the consumers.
Right.
Case in point, I mean, the reason why it also took us time is we wanted to mimic the actual baby rhythm of suction. And that is the most important part of the technology, that how can you make the process as natural as possible. This is something that we could crack in this particular value proposition of hands-free breast pump, that the rhythm is about 85 suctions per minute, which is exactly the rhythm for the baby. And therefore we call it a hospital grade breast
Equipment,
pump also. With 99% mothers seamlessly able to find the right fit into the product, and which is a very important point.
Absolutely.
And why Masaba then? So we debated again. So this was an India decision. We were talking in India, the team, and we kept debating what is the ethos that the brand stands for? What is it that we're trying to solve for? We wanted somebody who can really embody the true new Indian mother, who can resonate with a large ecosystem, is relatable and authentic. Because these are the 3 values I feel is very important for the Indian ecosystem now.
Right.
Consumers want authenticity, relatability. And that is something that we found in Masaba, by the way of that she's a new mother, she's an entrepreneur, she's a fashion designer, she's juggling so many hats. While all this is being done, she's still her authentic self. You will not see many things which are made up with Masaba. She's her true self. Nina ma'am.
Right.
And I mean, the DNA comes from there.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
true to herself.
Very right.
And that's where we thought that this combination, Masaba leading the entire conversation, would probably the best idea and the partnership to go ahead with. And therefore, we went a step ahead and also spoke that can we also try and talk to Nina ma'am with respect to the pros and the cons and the compare and contrasts of what used to be the process in the past, what are the problems of the past, what are the problems of the future, what is the issue right now. And I think that's where the entire conversation was about.
You kept it real, I think.
Authenticity is the core of all the consumer conversations that we are doing today. If you're not relatable to consumers, you're not going to make the cut. Especially, I mean, there's so much being talked about Gen Zs. Everybody's talking about them. They're also entering the new age motherhood cycle, because that generation is now approaching that cycle. 25 to 28. And for them, it's very important to relate to whom they're seeing. And that's the insight that we're getting time and again, and that's where the entire conversation.
And who's going to be the real target audience for this? Are you really targeting the urban areas only, or is it going to be pan India?
See, again, the product is going to be available on Amazon, First Cry, so it's going to be available to anybody across the country. But our media mix essentially will initially for the first year be focused or very focused towards the top 8 cities.
Okay.
We would want to get a lot of consumer views initially. We would want a lot of user generated content from their experiences, because the learning is very clear when you have enough and more people talking about the value proposition and how it is changing their lives. Then you should probably start scaling, because otherwise you spread yourself too thin in terms of solving a particular problem and not really go deep into a particular market and solve for it properly. So that's what the first focus is: top 8 cities in the first year, and then keep getting better and better understanding of consumers and take it to more and more markets in the next 1 year from there.
Also, this is, I think, one of those products which has a strong, word of mouth option. I mean, if there's someone who's using it, I'm sure they're going to recommend it to other mothers that they know.
So this is the most important point. In the mother and child care as a category, the entire category, I mean, there are so many things that come under it. Infant nutrition is just one of them. There are 2 sources of truth for a mother. And there's enough and more data for available with us on that one. One is there are only 2 points of sources that the mother trusts. One is a doctor. Any recommendation that comes from a doctor is something HCPs, experts, is what they trust.
Right.
Second is their friends.
Okay.
That is again, some friends have tried it, they've experienced it, they would trust that advice now far more. Okay. So the word of mouth, like you said, is the most important thing in this category, and therefore we want to get that right first. Not generate it, but get true, authentic, relatable answers, experiences. Okay. Take them and then take it to a wider audience.
Okay. So largely right now, is your core medium going to be digital? Because
digital, and like I said, we have a field force. Okay. Which actually goes to about 1,000 hospitals and goes and meets gynaes, pedias, talking about the superiority of the products and how it changes the consumer lives, mothers' lives, and drives awareness around it. Okay. Like I said, these 2 pillars are something that are very core to the way we operate, and that is how we will talk about it with the HCPs, drive awareness there with the experts, and digital first, with a lot of content, user-generated content, creator content, to get real, authentic reviews.
Okay. I remember seeing one of your ads for a breast pump, which is also available on Zepto.
Yes.
I think it's a very nice ad, and I think you've touched upon a very interesting subject, where it's okay for a mother to be guilt-free, sometimes enjoy a little bit of her me time. With this particular product, what is the communication going to be? What is the taboo that you're hoping to address, break, shatter myths, break whatever?
I think the liberation is something that we want to go and go deeper into, because freedom of movement is something that we want to really empower all the mothers with, whether it is movement with respect to their work piece, whether it is with respect to a vacation, whether they just go out for a coffee with friends. I mean, that is what we want to truly empower, that every mother should have freedom of movement, should have the liberty to go where she wants, while still being mentally sure, comfortable that my child is being taken care of. Because eventually the ecosystem also has to come to support here, because this entire product is not for itself. It is the also concept about the product is it takes a village to raise a child,
right?
Eventually, and therefore share the care is something that is a very strong ethos that we hold to our heart.
Fantastic, Smit. I'm sure a lot of mothers are thanking you already.
Yeah.
Keep bringing such new products to the market, and we look forward to what you bring in next.
Yeah.